Hey everybody! So if you work in a science lab at all with chemicals, or even if you're doing experiments at school, you might have a chemical spill at some stage. So here's one that's happened. This has happened to me before too. Accidents happen. But if you spill an acid or a base that's really strong, you need a way to safely clean it up. And because strong acids and bases are corrosive, you can't just clean it up with a cloth because it might start corroding the cloth and it might release fumes into the air. So you need a way to make that acid or base safe before you clean it up. And the way you do that is with a reaction called a neutralization reaction. And neutralization reactions, they're one of the types that we'll learn about in this video. So there's lots of categories of reactions that tend to have similar reactants and products. And so scientists put them into categories. So we're going to learn about neutralization reactions as well as combustion reactions as well. Alright. So firstly, neutralization reactions. So these are simply when an acid reacts with a base. So remember that we have our pH scale, which ranges from 0 to 14, and acids are anywhere between 0 and 7. And bases between 7 and 14. So if you react an acid and a base together, when they react, you end up with a solution that's around about 7, pH 7, which remember is neutral. So the product of a neutralization reaction is a neutral solution. Right, so that's how you can clean up a spill of chemicals like this. So if we accidentally dropped hydrochloric acid all over the floor, we can add a base to that acid, and it will react with the hydrochloric acid, and then we'll end up with a neutral solution of pH 7, which is a lot safer, and then we can clean it up and dispose of it safely. So when you hear about neutralization, it's an acid and a base, and we end up with neutral. Okay, here's the next category of reactions, and these are called combustion reactions, or just the process of combustion. So combustion's really common, we see it all the time. Anytime you see a flame, like in a candle, or in bushfires, or this fire breather here, that's combustion. Rocket engines use combustion. So hydrogen and oxygen to make water that we've talked about before, that's a combustion reaction. And inside car engines, there's petrol that's being burnt, and then the explosion of that petrol is what pushes the piston to make the engine run. And that's what gives engines their proper name, which is internal combustion engines. So as you know from history, that's probably the most important technology that sparked the Industrial Revolution. So really important reactions. So to summarize combustion, a combustion reaction is really when a fuel combines with oxygen. So there's lots of possible fuels, but we can just say a fuel reacts with oxygen. That's all we need to say. It reacts with oxygen. And the key with combustion reactions, and you can see it here, they're all releasing energy. There's always flames or light and heat involved, which means that combustion reactions are always going to be exothermic. Okay, so that's the two types of reactions you need to know, and we'll learn more about them in the next few levels.